in the shadows, locked inside the mind. MK Ultra memories don't keep us blind. Static on the screen, voices we don't see. Dumper's got us wired, but we're breaking free. They're watching, they're waiting, with eyes in the sky manipulating. They silence the scream, but we know the lie.
They can't hear you yet.
Welcome to, hey guys, everyone, live podcast, Paranormal and Ghost-filled grab bag special.
Yeah, a little spooky Halloween sort of concept, right? It is the scariest month of the year, October. So we figured we'd bring some creepy, interesting things to y'all's little brains out there, or big brains, whoever you are. Though, again, thank you for joining us. We got a spooky one for you today. We're going to talk about haunted castles over there in Czech Republic. We're going to talk about the Meadow in the south, similar to the Skinwalker Ranch in Utah.
Ooh, and then also the Cursed Village of Voices.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, that one, and then there I've got some like weird cryptid ones too, and then and I have one that actually has footage too.
Oh, what?
Yeah, for like paranormal activity type stuff,
Oh.
and it's authentic footage. It was inside of a school and stuff, and they got it on their security cameras.
That's,
late at night.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, and it's the real deal. It's the real deal.
It's the real deal, Holyfield.
I even got some stuff with like Japan ghost possessions, and then and then there's something called the Ghost of the Floating Island, which you know nothing about because I have not shared any of my stuff with you.
Yeah,
So.
mine as well. I've shared very little with you as well, which is very fun to do.
Yeah, dog.
Hope everyone's having a good day. Ben, how was your week so far, bud?
It's been fantastic. You just made me go on camera. That's cool. I'm here for it.
I made you go on camera.
Yeah, we're gonna start digging into all the ghosts and paranormal activity and all that fun jazz here in just like, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes.
A lot of people
give or take, dog.
Give people time to just mosey their way in if they decide to join us or not, you know?
Yeah.
Over in the podcast world, thank you so much for listening to us. I know that you're probably not looking at our beautiful mugs, but we appreciate you listening over there in audio land. Yeah, it's another fantastic evening, Friday night. We're having our cold beverages, getting comfy, cozy, getting ready for ghost stories, spooky tales after dark.
Yeah, dog.
I know last week I said after dark a whole lot too, and I'm sticking with that theme, mostly because your camera was malfunctioning and you were in the dark.
Yeah.
But this week, lights are working, cameras are working. We're good to go, baby.
Yeah, dude. It's a great time to kind of be alive.
You didn't answer my question though.
Oh,
How
sorry,
was your
well-
week?
My week was all right.
It's
It
good.
was good. I was really just excited about the podcast,
Hell
about
yeah.
doing another live episode, but this time Halloween themed because it's one of the coolest seasons ever.
The spookiest time of the year.
It's like the one time of the year you could get away with murder.
Murder.
Wait, what? No, wait.
Murder.
Judith, no. Anyways, camera's back on you now, dude.
That's perfectly fine. So, do you want me to dive in first, or do you want to start first? I know you have a little bit more
I have quite a bit.
topics than I do. I only have 3. There's one that I didn't mention because it's a shorter one and it's kind of gross.
Let's start with that, dude.
Okay, right on.
I'm ready for it. You have no idea.
Let me grab it over here real quick. Got my handy dandy computer. So this one comes straight to us from America, and it's recent. This one happened in October 9th, 2024, the year of our Lord.
Oh.
This is
What?
This is a woman by the name of Torlina May Fields, the witch.
Oh.
The case of Torlina May Fields in Mount Olivet, Kentucky, is currently getting a lot of attention in different media outlets and X and TikTok and you name it because it's incredibly gruesome. This is like violent beyond all violence. On October 9th, 2024, Kentucky State Police were called to a property where they discovered the dismembered remains of Torlina's mother.
Damn, dude.
Her own mother. Let's keep that in mind here when we go a little further into this.
Her mother.
Her mother.
That mother. Well, anyways, never mind. I'm not going to finish that sentence. Go on.
Her name was Trudy Fields. The authorities were alerted by a maintenance worker who had visited this residence. When no one answered the door, he checked around the back and found drag marks leading to a dismembered body. along with a pile of hair and a blood-stained folded mattress.
Mm-hmm.
According to the reports and the other police accounts, the worker claimed that Toralina had been acting confrontational and was casting spells on people. So the worker shows up to do a little maintenance on the house, maybe mow the lawn, maybe fix some shingles on the roof. They didn't necessarily say what she was doing, but she was throwing spells at him.
Whoa! I dare you.
You don't seem too thrilled by that. She was casting spells on him, dude. A witch in 2024.
What, did she have a bag of crystals?
She was creating a disturbing and confrontational atmosphere. Police obtained a search warrant after Toralina refused to cooperate. When they entered the property, they found Toralina with blood on her face and clothing. Inside the home, investigators located body parts cooked in a pot that was still warm to the touch.
Ooh, I love it when it's warm.
There were additional organs and dismembered remains were discovered hidden within that mattress around the
I have
property.
to ask you a serious question for you before.
of
It's about the
course.
warm comment.
Yeah.
Was it warm and moist?
Probably. I mean, I imagine.
Speaking my language, dude. Anyways, back to you.
I'm speaking your language. It's dismembered body parts that's warm in a pot. How is that your language, Ben?
Hey, whatever. Keep going with this witch who did some horrible stuff.
Oh well, that's practically it. It's a very short one. I told you it was nice and sweet, nice and short, nice starter.
You just disappointed everyone. Everyone, my man.
Toralina Fields has been charged with obstructing government operations, tampering with physical evidence, and abuse of a corpse. So, this witch killed her own mother, chopped her into pieces, put her on the stove to cook her, and ate her in ritualistic manners. Apparently, there were like Satanistic things written about, and this brought me into another whole realm of investigation into satanic ritualistic concepts.
Mhm.
Brown brought me into the Order of Nine Angles. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
So when you had mentioned the Order of Nine Angles to me, but whenever you did, I thought you had made a typo, and you're talking about the Order of Nine Angels. I'm like, what the hell is that?
No, it's the complete opposite of
Yeah,
that.
it's the
actually.
very
It's
opposite.
the complete
Yeah.
opposite. So they are also so the Order of Nine Angles. Think of it as like an umbrella. They have different cult sectors underneath it. There's one specifically called the Cult of 764, or just 764.
Mm-hmm.
These individuals are like preteens, 16 to 12 years old. And they are individuals who have been brainwashed and taken over on different Discord channels, X accounts, and public domain chat rooms. And they torture children, kill them in Satanistic ritualistic habits, and force them to do horrible, despicable things on camera.
Yeah. What's going on with my thing? Hey, I'm listening. Keep going.
It doesn't look like you're listening. But yeah, so that brought me into that spectrum, and then I went on a little deep dive on these individuals. I don't know if you remember a video not too long ago where there was a mother and a father in a hallway in like a trailer almost,
Mm-hmm.
and they shot at the cameraman who was their son.
Ouch.
Hit him in the ear. That guy's name is Kyle Spitz. He was one of the leaders of the Order of Nine Angles.
Oh.
And he then went on a podcast talking about the incident with his stepfather. Turns out this guy is a horrible human and has manipulated young women to post explicit photos online with their wrists slit and pentagrams drawn in blood and all sorts of satanic ritualistic formations.
Whoa.
Oh, dude, it's really disturbing and incredibly fucked up. You can, sorry, YouTube.
Yeah, way to do it, dude.
But you can find it all over X. You can find it all over Discord. The photos of these mutilations. It's truly horrific.
And you were the guy looking them up.
Not because I wanted to. I had that morbid curiosity, and mostly the hatred for such things. The woman who, Toralina May Fields, who dismembered her mother and cooked her and scalped her and all this horrific things, brought me to the, was she satanic? And then I looked that up. She was a witch, and then that brought me to a whole new sect of satanic worshipers.
I thought you were about to say fetishes, but okay.
Uh,
Anyways, moving on. But that was it though. That was like the whole.
That's one.
It was
of
a
them,
very
yeah.
short one.
Yeah, we're doing a little grab bag. We got a whole bunch of different things.
I was
to
just
talk
making
about.
sure before I jumped in here.
Jump in there, big dog.
So
Hop in the waves. I got my copper cup with me today. Copper's great for you. Cheers, everybody.
I got my beer with me today. Hello, beer time. Anyways, so I'm warming my the audience or anyone who does tune in. I'm gonna warm you guys up into some of the more heavy hitters that I got. So here's a little bit lighter one, and this is the Ghost of the Floating Island,
Okay.
or the Floating Ghost Island. It's taken either way, and I'll explain why. So, in one of the most mysterious stories from Norway, there have been reports of a floating island that disappears and then reappears and then disappears again without a trace. They literally see it because it floats. It's literally an island that's just floating.
What?
Yeah, and then it's just gone. There's no people have investigated. Like they've actually had like land surveyors go out there, what is it, geologists, and then they've all teamed up with people who do like geography and things like that.
Maybe civil engineers even.
Yeah, like they've had like full on, investigative teams go out, but not thinking it was paranormal. They're just trying to figure out what made this floating island do its thing.
Where's it located?
Norway.
Norway. Okay.
And so basically, they would see this thing appear and reappear all the time. Like there are numerous testimonies from literally like basically civil engineers, even government officials who witnessed it too. Like people go out there and see it.
Wait, they've seen it with their own eyeballs?
You can see it with your own eyeballs, and they've watched it just disappear.
What?
Like fade off.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw a picture of it, but it was like, well, that's a waste of a time to put that picture up because it's just a picture of a.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine going out? Someone's like, "Hey, yeah, there's this weird thing going on. This island keeps appearing and reappearing. Can y'all come check this out for me?" And they're like, "Yeah, whatever. This guy's a loony bin. I don't want to go out there." It's like, "No, seriously, please come look at this."
Yeah.
And you go look at this, and the island just fucking vanishes in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
I think I would have a panic attack. I think
I would have a
I
panic
I might poop my pants.
I was like, oh, dude, that's a whole island. Oh, I knew water turtles had islands on the back of them. Like the lion turtle thing.
Yeah.
So with that being said, just to keep on going with this, so they describe seeing this landmass that seems to drift and to vanish in the thin air, which of course sparked all these different theories, and there's like all this legend about it. Legends are being created out of it in folklore. But locals have long told tales of a phantom island that go back hundreds and hundreds of years, or actually not even hundreds. It's gone back thousands of years
Really?
in the Norwegian, culture, of a phantom island that supposedly, back in a long time ago when Vikings were doing their thing, the pillaging and let me get my axe and have my awesome dreadlocks.
And have my own way with whoever I want, right?
Yeah. But back then, the folklore on it was that island was like essentially the in-between where you would that's basically, it's collecting souls of fallen people.
Like
and it's
purgatory?
No, it's more like how in like Greek mythology they have I forgot what it's called, where you have to pay with the coin.
Yes.
Odysseus did it to go down, and and he sees his mother and stuff like that.
River of Styx?
Same concept, right? But only in the Viking side of things, like going where you're gonna get determined there if you're going off to Valhalla basically or not.
That's so cool.
But that's just like old stuff, like folklore that they have there. But the people nowadays, they had the island, they had other scientists from outside of Norway come to the island, or not the island, but to Norway to investigate this stuff. So they're an outside party, and they just chalked it up to, even though they never saw the island, they never even saw it. And they chalked it up to it being an optical illusion caused by atmospheric refraction.
You know, I have
That's such a term that they like to throw into everything.
But I mean, I have seen videos and photos of boats looking as if they are in the sky because of the reflection off of water. I have
Yeah.
seen that before, so that's potentially possible, right?
Yeah. Well, the testimonies give a lot of detail of this island, and it's very clear and distinct. Like you can. They say you can even see birds. Like some testimonies you're talking about, like you can literally see birds, like flying off. Like they look at it through binoculars and shit.
What do you mean flying off?
Like landing on the island, like you see, like there's trees on it and stuff, and you can see birds flying to it.
Do they fly off of it?
Yeah,
Okay, that's
the
wild.
testimonies.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
and then on top of that, they'll look at it through binoculars and get a very close up zoomed view, but they never see any people. They just see close up, kind of like just a closer view of trees and other like land formation that's on top of this island.
Fascinating.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, poof, it's gone. So
Hmm.
with this being said, so let me see where I was. So the mystery has attracted just basically a bunch of curious minds. So you got tourists and researchers alike who are just fascinated by the interplay of science and folklore surrounding this disappearing island. So there have been tons of expeditions to try to document its true existence. And when I say true existence, they are trying to go out and basically get on this island. That's what they're trying to do. But in some of the deals I've read coming from these third-party, like, expeditions and other scientists of different natures, basically just saying that, like, we would see the island and we try to get to it, and it's like we would move towards it and it would move farther away, and then sometimes we would have to change course because it would be moving again.
What?
Like it would be like they're going to it this way and it's moving that way, so then they have to change course,
So it's
and go left.
constantly rotating and moving location?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, poof, they just watch it disappear in the distance.
What?
I wonder if it's just sinking below the water.
That's so hard for that's baffling for me to
Yeah.
understand and believe.
It just makes me wonder if it's sinking below the water.
Yeah. That's potentially possible, right?
I don't know.
But if it's moving, if they're headed toward it on boat or by plane, and then steers a different direction, that describes to me some sort of momentum, right? Some sort of mobility, that it has a propellants of sort.
Yeah.
I don't know, that I just can't get over the fact that you could see this with your own eyes and be like, oh yeah, this really happens. But there's no photos of it, right? Was there any photo evidence or?
Apparently, I mean, I saw, like I said earlier, I saw a photo of supposedly the island from some news outlet, like news journal outlet of some form
Gotcha.
that's out of Norway. So I couldn't read any of the letters because it wasn't in English. But I did get to see what the island supposedly looked like. And it just looked like a little island.
Oh, just like a
It
regular.
kind of reminded me out here in Lake Lavon in our neck of the woods, where you got that, like that island that's in the center of Lake Lavon that
Yes.
you can go to, much like that.
Interesting.
Basically, that's what they're seeing, but a little bit bigger.
I want to go.
I want to go too.
I want to go to that island.
I want to go to Antarctica
You want to go to Antarctica?
so I can punt a penguin and find them aliens.
Yeah, I want to go fight an alien out there, dude.
I want to go fight them aliens.
Aliens think they're more superior. They ever seen these guns, dude?
Dude, you ever seen these guns? You haven't seen.
I ain't talking
nothing
about
yet.
my AR-15, dog. I'm talking about my pythons.
Oh my goodness. My goodness.
my biceps, dude.
My biceps. I got a lot of biceps going on. You just can't see them right now. Just saying. Anyways,
Tight.
what do you got? What's your next one? Let's kick it up a notch.
Let's kick it up a notch. I mean, my bloodiest one, I already said that one. But have you heard of, do you know where the Czech Republic is? And like the lore around the Czech Republic?
I don't know the lore.
So the Czech Republic is a well-known hot area for demonic and paranormal supernatural stuff. And there is this castle that is a very unknown castle. It's called Castle Hauska. That's Houska. It's located in the Czech Republic. It is surrounded by eerie legends and stories that make it one of Europe's most mysterious and haunted castles. It was built in the 13th century and was originally designed as a Gothic fortress. Despite its seemingly defensive architecture, Castle Hauska is unique because it has no strategic value or direct access to water at all. There's no water in the building. There's no river. There's no lakes near it, which
Interesting.
leads to speculation about its true purpose. So, a few things before I get into the creepiness about it all. There's no bedrooms. There's no kitchen. There's no living quarters. It is just a sort of square structure around a gigantic bottomless pit.
Whoa.
So underneath it, there's a hole in the ground, and then they
Mhm.
built a structure around that, and they built a castle on top of that. There's a courtyard in the middle with like Gothic crosses and cauldrons and different things in the center. There are stories that go around
I like stories.
in the chat. Oh, me too. So imagine yourself in the 13th century, and you're building this castle. And you're building this
too much
castle.
work.
Nah, not doing that. I wouldn't imagine myself sleeping. In the 13th century, while they were building it, they would take these slaves who were prisoners of atrocious crimes like murder or the R word, if you will, and they would make them build this fortress.
Mm-hmm.
If they wanted to live, they would have to volunteer to be put inside of the hole
What?
for experiments to see what's going on down there. I know, right?
What the?
They would give them a lantern or a torch and just wheel them down on rope on it by a pulley.
Dude, I can see myself right now. They give me a little torch and they're just like, all right, now hold on tight. And I'm just like, all right, I got you. Like,
This is better than dying, right?
this is better than the plague, right? Like, I don't know what I'm doing right now.
So they get these young guys. They're like 20 years old, maybe 30 years old in the 13th century who are horrific criminals, and they've been forced into slave labor to build this castle because the government, or I imagine the oligarchy over there at the time, the
Can
rulers.
you go a whole episode without bringing up Oh, my bad. Yeah, that was right. Can you go a whole episode without bringing up the government?
Probably not.
I figured. Anyways, keep going.
But the 13th century Czech Republic rulers, the king or the oligarchy, whatever it was, they would force these guys down to the hole, like I mentioned previously, and they would go down there, and you would hear screams and horror and cowls, like wolves or bats howling. And as they would get lowered down, there would be slack in the rope, and then they would pull them back up. And when they would come back up, they would have aged 30 to 40 years.
Get the fuck out of here.
Uh,
Oh, dang it. I said the F word.
Yes, they would come back up old, wrinkly, white hair.
Psych, it's
And
just
then-
us from Smartly Uneducated down there, and we're doing a switcheroo. We found all these old people, and we're like, you know what? Your time's limited. We'll give you a switcheroo.
No,
You'll be
yeah.
all right.
You want to be part of this social experiment, this funny prank, dude? We're going to prank everybody.
Got this, dude.
So
Got this.
they would bring them back up, and these individuals who would go down into this bottomless pit would soon lose their mind. They would come up madness, screaming, horror, like Vietnam status PTSD, like staring into the distance, and they would then die of pure insanity. Moments.
Dude, I thought that was the end of your sentence for a second. They would then die. And then that was just the end. And you're just going to stare at me. I thought that's what you're about to do. I was like, whoa.
So yeah, they would then just die. So they would finish building this castle, and the question that has always remained around this castle is: are they building it for defense, or are they trying to keep something in? Because there are tales and there are folklores of creatures coming out of this hole, giant bat-like creatures that would come into the night, take people into the hole, and you would never see them again.
Oh.
There are tales of frog-toad humanoids living around this area to this day.
We saw that one frog cryptid. Remember that?
I do,
dude?
yeah, he was cute.
Dude,
I kind of liked him.
Battletoads, bro.
But yeah, they would have humanoids walking around there, and people still talk about it to this day, like they see them. Right? So they refer to this hole as the gateway to hell. It's the most prominent legend surrounding Castle Hauska, which centers on the idea that the castle was built over a massive, seemingly bottomless pit, which locals believe to be the gateway to hell itself.
Damn.
The story goes that before the castle was constructed, who lived near the site notice strange phenomena. Unexplained figures, beasts, and eerie noises would emerge from the area where the pit was located. To seal this opening and prevent these evil forces from escaping, the Frommelslid dynasty, who ruled Bohemia, commissioned the construction of that
Dude,
castle.
I don't think I really caught that first word you just said. Could you repeat that one more time?
Primsalid.
No. I like the other way.
Primsalid.
You said frog.
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 No, I'm just kidding. I don't remember how you said it,
Frame-salid.
but it did not sound correct. But I could be.
Yeah,
very
you gotta
wrong.
forgive me. The Czech Republic language is beyond me. There's a lot of umlauts and vowels where my brain just cannot grasp it. Let there be light. Am I right, everybody? All my
There you
video
go,
watchers,
bro.
the lights have turned on.
Yeah, I just realized how dim it was. Anyways, continue.
So I already described about the experiments with the prisoners that they would do. The black winged creatures, according to the folklore, after the pit was discovered, but before the castle was built, these big black winged creatures were seen emerging from the hole, especially at night. These creatures were described as part human and part beast, with leathery bat-like wings and grotesque faces, like a vampire.
Whoa.
I know. They would allegedly fly out of the pit and terrorize the local villages, attacking livestock and even humans.
Whoa.
The villagers
Describe.
were so terrified that they avoided the area altogether, believing it was cursed or under demonic influence. There was so many ways that these individuals tried to block it up. Over the years, they would just show all their trash and dead livestock down there.
What year? Like how long ago?
13th century. So
They have dynamite in the 13th century.
I don't think so.
I'm about to say dynamite comes in handy at that point, man. I'd be throwing that shit down there.
You know what's really cool to go down there? A GoPro with a light on it. Just toss that motherfucker in there.
You know what'd be really cool is we find out where that place was, and we
Oh,
do
you can go right
to
to it.
No, we just do a podcast.
We can go there.
Oh, we can?
Yeah, we can absolutely go there.
Are you curious? Are you serious right now?
So
We can legitimately go there.
I don't think it's available to the public, but we could go there.
Cue the Mission Impossible music.
Dun, 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 dun.
Evan, you're horrible at doing impressions. Like-
Impressions and references are not my strong suit. I'll tell you
No,
that.
They're not.
Having very little opinion is also my strong suit.
Yeah, same here, dude.
But yeah, I mean that's mostly it. The folklore around it is this hellhole is what has caused so much strife and vampiristic mindset over in the Czech Republic.
Hmm.
It is an ancient country, so it wouldn't put it past me that there are evil spirits and evil entities that exist in that area, considering how long it has been around. Of course, all of the other continents have been around for a long time as well.
What was this castle called again?
Hauska,
Hauska.
Houska,
Well, I know where we're going in 5 years. Bucket list, baby.
Castle Hauska. I
Even-
think that'd be cool. The interior of it, I have a photo on the shared OneNote we have here of the castle. It's creepy. They have a picture of inside the hole too. It's like a colonoscopy photo. They put a little rattlesnake down there.
That's no rattlesnake. That's a trouser snake.
It's like a 4-story castle with blue roof, white bricks all the way around, and again, it's in a square shape. And so there's a courtyard in the middle, and there's no living quarters inside this place.
What a bunch of squares.
And apparently, it is so devastatingly haunted. There are individuals who have gone inside of it and have seen faceless knights walking around. They have seen ghosts, all sorts of things. It is
Pretty sure
devastatingly
they're
haunted.
describing what it was like for me to be in the womb.
What? Your mother's womb had demons and ghosts inside of it?
Well, before I was born, my second oldest brother technically had a twin.
Oh, I
and
don't
he
wanna-
absorbed his ass in the womb. So we got a little remnants in there, dude. By the time it came around, it was like, kill me. And I was like, oh shit. Like I was like, and then that's why when I wrecked that shit coming out, I strolled a cane on my way. I was like, that was a champagne of victory for
Hello,
me.
my lady. Hello, my darling.
Just like Spaceballs. Yeah, I'm just in with the top hat, just flipping it back and forth. But I put the camera back on you.
Yes, you did.
Surprise. So is that it on that?
Yeah,
Stuff?
absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Then I want to bring in the next one. I'm going to do a cryptid one. This
Ooh.
one's interesting. So these are so I kind of labeled these. I gave a little subtitle to both of these. I'm only going to do one right now, but I put alien/cryptids question mark
Okay.
because either one that I do, it's like there's a lot to question there if it's actually like a cryptid, like in the traditional sense, like the chupacabra, things like that, or it's some form of extraterrestrial or even terrestrial being that we just don't know of that's also intelligent.
Usually they go hand in hand, right?
The second one's very much, I would say it's constructed, in my personal opinion, but they've labeled it as a cryptid.
Ben, you got to stop burping on the mic. Dude. You got to stop burping on the mic.
I can't help it. So, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do the Crimean cryptids. You know where Crimea is, right?
I mean, Crimea?
Crimea, whatever.
Yeah, Russia.
Dude, I'm American. I don't go there. I'm in the greatest place ever. I mean, not so great right now, but it'll get great at some
Can you
point.
go an entire episode without talking about the government and how shitty things are?
No, but I can't. Yes, I can. But I can't go a whole episode with talking about how awesome I am. America.
That's tight. That's tight.
That's tight, dude.
That's tight.
Dude.
Chumbawamba.
Okay, so so these are, they call them sea-dwelling humanoids. So witnesses describe sea-dwelling humanoids and basically a lot of frequent UFO sightings. Now, UFO does not necessarily mean like a flying saucer,
Like alien. Right?
because well, it's really weird because the UFO sightings that are referenced here, when I said UFO sightings, what I'm really describing is they do describe seeing spheres and other things, glowing objects going into the water, and it's a lot of the time it's at night. But so according to multiple reports, local fishermen and residents, large humanoid figures have been seen underwater. These beings, often referred to as aquatic humanoids, look like humans but have distinct aquatic features. Imagine webbed fingers, gills, and like fish-like skin, and basically like an unsettling kind of blend between human and marine type life.
Wow.
But it's not like they don't have flippers. That's the weird thing. Like it's not like the mermaid thing, right? Where you have like the lower half is a fish and the other half, like no food stuff over Food Wars thing over here. It's called Food Wars.
No mermaid shit, right?
Yeah. But they have, legs and everything, but their hands, everything that's described on them is that their hands and their feet are very rigid, and it's got webbing in between all of them, almost like the Creature of the Blue Lagoon type thing,
Like for my D&D nerds out there, like a bullwog.
No, like the Creature of the Blue Lagoon type thing, where it's
a Black Lagoon.
Is it Black Lagoon?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Creature of the Black Lagoon. It's been a long time. That came out before I was born. Don't judge. But basically, and the skin would be like smooth in parts and then scaly in others, like a fish. And it's really weird. And their eyes are described as being apparently like black.
That reminds me of the Peruvian aliens.
But these ones are underwater, dude.
Wait a minute.
This is the water version, dude. like you know how when you go to the store and you see
it's like the Pokemon
vanilla
types.
and then there's chocolate ice cream? They're both technically ice cream, but one's a different flavor.
Gotta catch
I don't
them
know where I
all.
was-
Alien species.
I was about to say pokey ice cream. What? That doesn't make any sense.
Pokey ice cream.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's a Pokemon somewhere.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, it probably is. So so I described the features. So this area, it's also known for like frequent UFO activity. So they report seeing a bunch of unidentified flying objects, everything from spheres, cubes. Cubes were described in there. And when I say cubed, it's just it's a square, but 3D. It's square but 3D.
If you don't know what a cube is,
Just
and
in
if you
case.
don't know what 3D is, it means 3 dimensions. If you don't know what dimensions are,
Listen, dude,
it's what we're seeing.
I've seen what they're teaching these kids in school. Okay, they're pretty dumb. They're pretty dumb. So they would see like cubes and spheres, and then these things would be hovering above the water, and then they would just submerge, or they would go in like they would pop out of the water. They would see it come out of the water, zoom up like hundreds of feet in the air, go somewhere, and then it would come back, and then when it would come back, it would just go straight into the water like a bullet and not even slow down, which sounds a lot like all the UFO cases we've talked about.
Yeah.
Where it's literally there's video documentation of those things going in
like
and
the
out
Tic
of the water.
Tac, right? That flew into water and they
Yeah.
lost sight of it.
Yeah, just like that. So that's why I was saying like aliens / cryptids, because everything they lay out, it's like, dude, this sounds like something you just found like an alien hub.
I mean, aliens are considered cryptids, right?
I have no idea.
No one's ever actually seen one in person. Well, supposedly, right?
I've seen
Supposedly.
many, dude.
Have you seen an actual?
Have you gone down to the border, bro? There's a lot of them alien down there.
See, there we go again, Ben. We talked about this before the show.
What I was talking about the border of
Pluto and
being able to
and
eat and not eat. Wait, what?
Between Pluto and Uranus.
Dude, there's 3-titted aliens out there by Pluto.
Hey, dude, come and hop in the Black Honda Civic. We're going all the way to Pluto, baby. We're going up to space, dude, to see aliens, dude. You ever been to Pluto, bitch?
Don't fucking forget, you got the Maui Fias in the trunk, too.
Oh, dude, the hot as hell.
That's our extra exhaust to get back home.
That blue beam laser's coming in extra fast. And if you're just now joining us, this is definitely a part of our regular scheduled programming.
Oh, hell yeah, dude, it is. Moving on from this. Moving on to the next thing. So, other than that,
that kills me.
so the military got involved
Uh-oh.
over there, and apparently, interestingly enough, Soviet era documents mentioned in this, some of the other like directories they went through and things like that.
Okay, I'm sorry, I gotta interrupt you. Forgive my idiotness. Where are these things happening?
Crimea.
Crimea, Russia. Okay, that's
Crimea.
right, in Crimea.
Yeah, so apparently, according to these Soviet-era documents, they say that Soviet Navy had encountered creatures of this description during their missions in the Black Sea. Divers had reportedly seen strange underwater lights that were moving so fast that they basically you blink, it moves too fast for you to you can't. It's moving that fast underwater. It's like seeing a drag car zip by you, and you're like at the front row seat at a drag strip, and then they zip by, and you're like, oh, and you're having to turn your head, like you blink, it's gone. That's basically what they describe, and we're talking about military divers.
So they're doing Mach speed underwater.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's scary.
That's
to
what.
me.
I mean, that's the same thing that's described with the UFOs that go in and out of the
I
water.
know that, but that's still
things,
frightening. I mean, I've never heard counts of people seeing them underwater. I've heard counts of people seeing them go into the water, never actually underwater. I sort of figured that they would be going slower, but if they're still going breakneck Mach speed, that's frightening.
It is kind of scary. And the weird. Anyways, I'm gonna continue on this before I get sidetracked. So, where was it? Where was I? Okay, so they were doing the mission in the Black Sea, and divers reportedly saw the underwater lights, fast moving objects, and then basically they blink, they'd be gone.
Yeah.
Because they're moving that fast, moving across in some whatever distance that they're looking. And then where is it? They talked about how there would be large figures under the water moving, and it wasn't like the way they describe it. It wasn't like a
fish,
like a whale.
Yeah,
they would see human silhouettes in the darkness of the water, like moving around them, and they're bigger than them, like these humanoid, these cryptid sea-dwelling humanoids, right? The whatever. How did they refer to them earlier? I think they aquatic humanoids. They are bigger than us, like in physically. They didn't give a reference how big they were, as in like if you were standing next to it and it was out of water, how tall is it? Apparently, from what the numerous divers described it, and these Soviet documents, these military documents that were, by the way, stolen. That's how they they got stolen and leaked, and that's how they got them. It wasn't like public and like, oh, here, look at all this top secret shit. No, it was leaked documents, and they had the actual prove they're authentic, and basically they describe the same thing. And these things, from way they describe these interactions that took place in these random moments, is that these things were big enough that if they had gotten any closer, it would have been a thing where the only way I could the way I was picturing in my head from how they described it was like if me and you were next to them right now, if they're sitting in this room with us right now, like sitting in the same, like, right here in the corner, they would be like, their head would be like basically towards the ceiling.
What?
Yeah, they were like,
So like
these large,
9 feet tall?
Yeah, like these super large statured aquatic humans, basically.
Dude.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Because the thing is that everything else about this stuff lined up with, like, especially with UFO sightings, that lined up with all the UFO stuff we know of now.
Yeah, all the video and leaked documents about the underwater.
And this was back in the Soviet
Wow.
era. This
Wow.
wasn't like, oh, this was like 2 years ago. No, dude, this is back Cold War, baby.
Holy shit.
Like, it was back a long time ago. So yeah, it's really weird because they were saying basically these investigators who looked into it and got their hands on these documents and stuff like that, which of course they reached out to the military, and the military is like, I've never even heard of these documents. Now, part of it is they're going to claim it, but they're also a different set of people that are in there. And it is stated in their research that, like, when they went to the military about it, there was facilities that were abandoned and were supposed to have gone through some protocol where they burned everything that was in there.
Much like the Tartaria thing, right?
Yeah, and nothing. Yeah, and the thing is that not everything got burned. That was also stated. Sorry, that was stated earlier in some of the stuff I was reading. Is that the facility where these were supposedly taken from was burned down? Like, and it was also had bunkers that went in the ground because it was a military kind of complex, and so when they got a hold of these papers, it was just papers that managed to survive.
Yeah.
So they were authentic papers. So it's like that when they went to these people about it, like 10, 15 years ago, who did this full, heavy research, all the people that were supposedly a part of this, that location, they were all dead. So, like, they were like, yeah.
So nobody can cover it up or lie about it at that point, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
I wonder.
Now, there are, like, there's a lot of, like, theories and speculations that obviously float around with this type of subject. But it's just like, one of the biggest ones, and I wrote it down here, one of the biggest questions and speculations that came out of it was, are these beings an ancient underwater species that we've never known about, and we wouldn't really have a reason to interact with them because they live in a completely different plane of existence, like deep in the water. Like, these things weren't hanging out in shallow water and coming up to get some sun on the beach while everybody else is like, can you get your wanting some of that, the stuff you put on your face,
sunscreen,
that stuff. They didn't know what to call it. I was just in character, too. And they're like, nah, dog, we don't want any of that. But no, so it's just like, there's like a lot of speculation about it. But, that was the big question, is like, are these beings an ancient underwater species never known about, hence the cryptid kind of aspect to it, or are they extraterrestrial in origin? Like, I mean, since they got flippers and gills, I'd imagine that they're from Titan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something of that sort. I imagine there's some from some
that was a
water
joke.
planet.
I'm not saying actually Titan.
I mean, you're probably not
I don't
far
know.
off,
Hey,
right?
dude, I don't want to be right. Government would be knocking on my door soon. Like, I'm cool.
I mean, it's all speculation. It's all a thought project at that point, right? It's very possible that Titan has life. I mean, they're doing a search to it now. They're doing a mission to Titan to see what's going on. I think it's Europa or Titan, one of the two.
I don't remember.
But they're
which one,
doing
I
a
know you're
mission
talking
to it,
about.
right?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put it past an intelligent life making its way here and then be like, oh, fuck, people live here? Let's just go underwater where we live best and hide and just take their resources as we want.
Yeah.
And then send them back to our home planet. I mean, considering all of the evidence of these underwater aliens already, it makes sense to me. It
makes sense to me.
It does, right? I mean, it makes sense. If they've been here for 60 plus years and they're still here, maybe they're just getting bolder, or maybe our technology is just getting stronger. Now we're able to see them.
Yeah, there was one person.
Dude.
There was one. All right, so you know how you've got like, and I'm gonna drop the whole alien thing here. This is the last thing I'm gonna say because then we're gonna get back to some more. But this is like kind of like a mix. It was kind of open to interpretation how you want to look at it, right? But the thing is that there, when word got out about this in more modern times, more publicly because of the internet and things like that, how you've got like the groups of people that are like, hey, the reptilians and the grays, and they talk about like, there's people out there that I see post stuff that as if they're like experts on reptilians, and they like will literally write an essay on a social media post that could be a book. And it's like giving every detail about reptilians and how even what they eat, what they like, all this stuff. Dude, wild, dumb stuff.
What?
That's going too far. It's like, yeah, you're not best buddies. You don't know anything. Like,
I hang out with them on Tuesday nights.
I'm not saying reptilians potentially aren't real. I'm not saying they're real or not real. I'm just saying that.
Okay, let's clarify.
Yeah.
Reptilian humanoids.
Yeah.
There's definitely reptilians around us. There's geckos.
Dude, I saw Hillary Clinton's video. Yeah, dude, that's like a reptilian reboot going, I don't know how to use my jaw in this suit.
Dude, we'll have to do a deep dive on all the things that people are saying about her in the recent history and past, because the Clinton family has been criticized for
I know we're gonna
long time.
let's move off of that. Let's move on. We're on the ghosts, encrypted, and paranormal. We're not going into politics.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay. But those types of groups of people, the extreme side of the reptilian knowledge base peeps,
Yeah.
got on there and basically were saying that their viewpoint was that that what it is that they had discovered a base. There's a base in that vicinity for the reptilians and all that stuff, and they were mentioning like a whole bunch of wild stuff that didn't make any sense, mainly because I've researched the reptilian theories, right?
Yeah.
And I think there's a possibility. I don't rule them out more than I rule out an extraterrestrial at this point. And I think it's very possible that when it comes to ETs, you know how I am. It's like, okay, I'm pretty confident that there's something. But when it comes to reptilians, I don't rule them out either. They could exist too. So it's just like it's one of those things, but they took it and they went to a whole other extreme with it. So it kind of put some tarnish on this whole thing.
They shed their skin every full moon, and that's when
That's why they're in the water, dude. All the extra lube.
And that's when werewolves turn gay at night.
Dude, it's a full moon right now, dude.
I know, baby. Ow!
Dude, too bad that casting couch's not in here anymore. Tell you what, dude. Anyway.
But the deep dive on the reptilians, humanoids, is actually kind of fascinating in its own right. It's definitely a cryptid, too, I would say. There are supposed sites of it. They're supposedly in Peru right now, killing people and capturing them, right?
Oh my gosh. You just reminded me. Sorry. So I tried to find information on this one, and all I could find was recounts of the story of claims, right, about this, the sea-dwelling humanoids. Is that, I guess, apparently this dates back a while ago. Like, we're talking like the earliest one I could find, based off of what this one piece I found. And it was like in the 17, like somewhere in the 17 or maybe early 18. I don't remember if it was 1700, 1800s. But apparently there's tales of on these ships when they be out in the ocean in the Black Sea. Apparently large human beings crawled up onto the boat, basically scaled the boat and like basically took everyone on board. And then like when I say took everyone, they didn't take everyone, and that's how the story got out. It's because only a handful of the crew survived or didn't get taken. The way they recount it is that they died, but when you read the story I found, it was talking about they were taken, like they were literally taken, like picking them up like they're paperweights, like these things are strong.
Cool.
And then dove into the water with them.
That's cool.
So it's like I couldn't find anything else outside of that. That was the only thing I could find that like went back, like, really far.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, there's no evidence. Like there's nothing.
I love stories like that about cryptids or demonic vampires or whatever that are terrorizing towns.
Mm.
There's oftentimes not much validity to them, but they are still very interesting to hear about it and read and see what's going on. But oftentimes you might read in some of these and you'll see, wow, there's a lot of evidence to say that this is true. You got to remember though that these individuals didn't really have technology back in those days, so I don't know, like they had nothing going on.
Yeah.
They were bored, so they would see things and make up stories.
Yeah.
So a lot of them you have to take with a grain of rice.
So
Salt. Sand?
sand,
Rice?
pepper, baby.
Now we're cooking chili, dude.
Yeah, dude. So I've only got two. I'm only gonna share two more things, and they're my heavy hitter ones.
Okay.
And well, I have three, but I'm gonna breeze. The one of them's long, but I don't have. There's not a. I'm gonna go through it pretty quick. So, but other than that, do you want to do one of yours?
Yeah. So another thing has been brought to my attention recently. It's a book by a guy named Ted Burney.
Oh, before you do, I want to give a shout out to this one concurrent review we have.
Oh yeah.
Sup, dude?
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. Anyways, we're gonna keep going with the stories.
I think it's important to go to ad break right now. If you've made it this far into the show, thank you so very much for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe and share it to everybody you've ever met. I say it every time. Force your friends and your family and coworkers to listen to us. Lock them in the car, play the show, play it on the loudspeaker in your local Walmart. Put it on a giant TV in the middle of Costco.
Yeah.
Put it everywhere.
Yeah.
Share it around. Thank you to our sponsor, Bad Cat Studio, for sponsoring us, getting us some bumper reels and cool merch and whatnot. Yeah, so if you have anything you want to say to us, tell us how much you hate us, leave a comment. Tell us how much you love us, leave us a comment.
I love the ones where they say they hate us.
Me too. If you want to send us an email, we have an email address. That's smartlyuneducated@gmail.com. It is a real email.
It is.
I guarantee you it is so very real.
I've gotten emails telling me it's real.
I haven't. I've gotten emails from that real email telling me it's fake.
I was like, oh,
This is a fake email, isn't it?
It's China.
Isha. But yeah, so I got this book brought to my attention by a friend, and it is a guy named Ted Burney. The book is called The Meadow Project, The South's Skinwalker Ranch. It is a NDA-filled book. This guy is keeping the place so deeply secret. He doesn't want anybody who isn't a researcher or a scientist coming there because he doesn't want the military involved, CIA. He wants none of these people involved. He's had so many different strange phenomenons happen there that the book is riddled with countless personal experiences, right?
Mm-hmm.
This location is referred to as the Meadow. That's what he keeps referring to it as. It's associated with various phenomena, including sights of mysterious lights, strange entities, electromagnetic anomalies, and time distortions.
Whoa.
The project aims to uncover the nature of these phenomenons through scientific methodology exploration. So one of the most prominent ones is the mysterious lights and orbs.
Mm-hmm.
There are firsthand experiences of the humans who go explore the cliffside or the meadow's hillside, that they walk and they teleport and they end up on the other side of the property.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't know how they got there. But they'll watch them with binoculars and they'll just turn into a ball of energy and dash across the field and then appear on the other side.
Now, is there like actual documentation of this?
In his book, yes.
The
First-hand experience and incredible witnesses from different publications in science.
And what ranch
literature.
was this again?
It's called the Meadow.
Now, you said it was, was this, is it anywhere, where is it located again?
It's an undisclosed location. He doesn't want anybody who isn't a serious researcher going there.
Well, that's disingenuous.
That's what I think as well.
I think he's full of shit.
I mean, he's gone on public broadcasts in different locations talking about it. He's making another book
he's
about
like,
it.
All this stuff, dude. Look at this thing. You can't go. In
No,
fact, I'm not even going to tell you where it is.
He invites anybody to go there as long as they sign an NDA.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't sign that, dude.
I'll sign it.
It would pissed me off so bad. I'd be like, oh,
The NDA is
You know?
the NDA is you're not allowed to tell the location of the facility,
I know.
but you can tell your experience. You can say what happened.
What if I took a video?
I mean, I'm sure they would not be okay with that because people can triangulate. Have you seen that guy who does geocaching or like geo triangulating on
We'll
TikTok?
just shrouded the crap out of it, dude.
Put vignettes on it and all sorts of filters to cover
Yes,
it up.
dude. By the
Vignettes.
end of it, you don't even see what happens in the video.
Or what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many different types of GTA footage on there. You don't know what's happening. So the observation, the investigators reported seeing orbs and other lights floating and moving erratically. These lights are often appeared intelligent, changing direction, or disappearing when approached. On some occasions, these lights seem to respond to the presence of observers, suggesting some level of awareness. So as they're looking through them with binoculars or walking near them, they realize that they're there, and they'll look at them and move around them and disappear.
Whoa.
These lights are often associated with the UFO phenomenon and are frequently reported to other paranormal hotspots like the Skinwalker Ranch. They are sort of in the same phenomenon.
Yeah, because they had because that's why I asked. I was like, wait, where was this located again? Because it sounds a lot like Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah, so
You
he calls it the Skinwalker Ranch of the South.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that's how he refers to it.
Interesting.
So there's a lot of electromagnetic anomalies that go there as well. So your devices don't work, your cell phone won't activate there, your cameras don't really work well. So there's a lot of magnetation, gravity there that signifies some sort of activity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of paranormal aspect.
Hmm.
The craziest thing about it is there's a cube there. There's a cube phenomenon, as he refers to it as.
Hey, we got a comment on here. Sorry, I just caught my eye from Fast Mama Jamma. I fell asleep watching the Y Files.
What's up, Fast Mama Jamma?
Compilation about ghosts. That's fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll fall asleep all the time.
Well, welcome to the stream.
Yeah, I fall asleep all the time, dude. like sometimes Evan's talking, he's saying something probably really important. I'm just like, what?
His eyes are rolling back in his,
Like,
back in
dude,
his head.
Is this over yet? Are we done yet? Like, can we go home? Like, are we done with this? Like, come on, man. I'm tired. And you're putting me to sleep. Come on, man. Up your energy. Let's go.
One of the most intriguing things that find the
Oh my
meadow. Boom, baby. Hey, have you experienced the cube before, dude?
Dude.
My energy's peaking now, dude. You said be energized. Here's my energy, dude. This cube appears to hover and float. Same fucking thing.
Whoa. A cube is a square, but 3D. There you go.
And it hovers and floats. Same thing. Different words. Sometimes it materializes in different locations within the area. So boom, it appears here. Boom, it appears here. That's materialization, baby. That's how it works, dude. The cube has translucent or glass-like appearance. So you look at it, you can see through it, dude. You can see through it, brother. You can see the trees on the other side, my man. And some investigators have tried approaching it only to feel inexplicable force or presence emitting it.
Dude, you had me at force.
There's speculation that the cube may be linked to the other anomalies reporting, acting as a gateway or anchor point for the phenomenon. So people have gone inside of it. In his book, people have gone into the cube only to reappear moments later. But in reality, it's been hours.
Yeah.
Here's my energy. You're not matching my energy.
Well, dude, ever since you started kicking up yo energy, we started dropping off viewers pretty quick. I think people like the whole go to sleep vibe.
the ASMR feel to it. But yeah, so they are referring to the cube in the book as the dimensional shift cube because time seems to like alter around it. You lose your perception of time, like how long you've been walking, how fast you move, how long you've been out there in general. There's one guy who was walking toward the cube and he was gone for a day, only to come back and radio in saying, guys, where are you? And they weren't there because they went to bed, but he was back in the same exact spot a day later.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting though, because it does sound a lot like Skinwalker Ranch.
Well, that's you keep saying that, but that is literally what he refers to it as.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like it. It's probably where it is, just in like a quadrant that he's not supposed to be in because he doesn't own the land and he's probably going in illegally. It's like I'm gonna tell you about some stuff, man. I've seen some things and some stuff, but I can't tell you where it happens because someone else owns that property.
So
And it's already famous,
it's
and
already-
I won't make any money. Like,
and it's in Utah. Wait, I can't tell you that. But yeah, so the speculation that Ted Burney is always saying is that it's potentially going to be a vortex or portal in time that individuals are using, right?
yeah.
Which goes and alludes to the skinwalker sort of mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a fascinating topic. I think it's really, really interesting, and I hope more comes of it. He's only been talking about it for 4 years now.
Yeah.
In 2020 is when the book was released. I just watched an interview with him the other day saying that he's preparing another memoir, another book about it, preparing to release to the public.
God, he's worse than Congress doing his UFO hearings where they produce nothing. Oh, great. Thanks, man. Having a great
Well,
time over
I
there
reached
as a
out to him.
viewer.
Hopefully that he'll reach back out to me. But I would love to have him on the show. Ted Burney, if you for some reason see this, I would love to hear your take and your story in person or over the airwaves, baby.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But I'm gonna steal the show now, and I'm gonna pretty much. I want to dig into the Deer Park CBS school paranormal activity. I have a video for this that I'm going to put on where it shows the activity taking place. And this is actual real footage from the school where you get to see some wild stuff happen. I mean, it's on the security cameras from the school at night. And the school is in use.
Oh,
It's
I'm
not like
excited
it's a
for this.
closed school. But let me give you some back on it. So in October of 2017, Deer Park CBS, a secondary school in Cork, reported strange activity caught on their CCTV footage. The video shows doors violently slamming, lockers shaking, papers being mysteriously thrown across the hallway, yet there's literally no one there. It's the middle of the night. The second incident, a second video, they released a second video of it showing more unexplained events. This time it was a wet floor sign, and it just like violently just gets like as if someone ran up and kicked it, and it like spins around and flies over and stuff like that. Whenever there's no seen force there, like there's no entity that you can see with your eyes in the camera, like, and it's clear it's day footage, like it's not like it's grainy
Really?
and like mainly dark. No, you can see everything in the video and there's nothing there. There's literally
that's
nothing.
cool because a lot of times we see these videos and it's like shot on a Nokia flip phone.
Yeah, and no, it's very clear footage, which I'm gonna put it up here in just a second. But then there's like, of course there's like theories about it, where people are like saying the school's maybe haunted, maybe kids died there, to the building. There is the thing about how like the building does have a long history, and it could just be, since it's a very old building and it's been repurposed, and there's other things could have happened in this place that could have caused this type of thing. But why was there nothing happening? Now the question is, it's not that why wasn't there something happening? Stuff may have well been happening there at night, but then they installed these CCTV cameras, these and caught it because they actually installed the cameras. They didn't have cameras before this, so
Wow.
and it was at night. And there is reports that before they ever had the cameras, that they would show up at the school to open up, like the janitorial staff would show up to, open up because they're the first ones there, and they would find just mess. Like stuff like just like, why is there papers everywhere over here? Why is there lockers with the doors open? Why is this locker laying over, on its side, type thing? So I'm gonna go ahead and get that footage put up, so everyone can see it. But I am gonna put the camera on you while I do it. So there you go, buddy.
All right.
Yeah, one moment, please, and I'm putting the camera.
I don't know about you, but if I go into my job every day and there's just things flung about, I would probably be not thinking it's ghosts.
I would be probably not thinking it's.
I would
ghosts.
probably go along the lines of things like, okay, who is coming in this school? Who is the janitor bringing with them? Are there kids breaking in at night and ransacking this place? And then you would put up that footage, or put up the cameras rather, and then get this video. That, I say it again, I'd probably poop my pants.
I probably pooped my pants, dog.
I'd freak out. I honestly would. I've never seen live footage or decent footage at that of a school or a paranormal activity of that
All right,
kind,
I
right?
got it up. I'm gonna go
Ooh,
ahead and play it.
it's movie time. Everybody grab
It's
your
movie
popcorn.
time, guys. Let's go. Here we go. So, there is some volume, but it's really I just muted it because it's just hearing the clashing from stuff getting hit. But no, just watch that stuff, man. It's about to. Oh, see how the
What the
door just swung open?
It
Just
looked like
keep-
something moved too.
Yeah, the door's getting swung down the hallway. But watch, it kicks up here in just a second. Just waiting for it to happen. Let's go. Slow and steady wins the race.
This is a creepy video in general. Like,
Yeah,
what the
see,
hell?
Yep. You start seeing that getting knocked around,
dude,
and that's like one of the locker cubbies.
schools at night are horrifying. So my audio listeners, we're looking at a black and white footage CCTV camera that's in like 1080p almost, and we're looking at a long corridor of looks to be like a middle school or a high school. And there's a
Some
wet
type of
floor
school.
sign in the middle, and you can see in the distance down the hallway doors flinging open.
Yeah,
Whoa!
see-
And a locker just popping open and stuff flying out of it.
Yeah, it kicks up some more. This is just one of a few different videos. This is just the one that had the best, stuff caught on camera.
Most
up close.
paranormal activity, right?
Yeah. And it's about to do it again.
Wet floor sign. Throw the wet floor sign. Yes.
Yep. And then and then there's more.
That's a
sorry.
long video.
Yeah, I don't want to skip anything though, because there's a few other things that you're about to see here happen.
So now everybody listening to the sound of my voice, the wet floor sign has been flipped around. We're going to, looks like October 22nd, 2017.
Yeah, so here's some more stuff.
We're looking at another angle of a hallway. There's chairs in the hallway. It looks like a trash can. More lockers. 2 doors, bathroom doors, rather.
Ah. My bad.
All is silent in the hallways at school. Until
Some stuff happens, dude. It's about to happen. I don't have this video memorized, so I've only watched it once. Oh, it's down there. It's at the end of the hallway.
I missed it.
It's behind the letters over here.
Oh, the chair just jumped.
Yeah, it's behind the Deer Park.
Yeah,
CVS
that
3
doesn't
lockers.
happen in buildings that are just old. Buildings, chairs don't just jump. And lockers don't just swing open, throwing paper out.
Yeah, and like
that don't happen.
That's a backpack just got thrown.
That's not something that happens in an old building.
Yeah. And then,
Okay,
signs getting
okay,
ripped off the wall and just
okay.
thrown. Yeah, that's not.
A poster got ripped off the wall and thrown to the ground.
Yeah, like it'd be one thing if you see a cabinet randomly creak open a little bit in the middle of the night and it just like slowly, just slowly.
Yeah.
Your house shifts. That I can
That
buy.
chair is
That,
sliding across the ground.
dude, if I was in that school right now, I'd be like, I would jump on that chair and be like, let's go for a ride.
Surfing USA.
Oh, how dare you? How dare you? But yeah, it's just there's like I don't know, man. This is like it's good.
If you were to witness that in person, would that be scary to you or more confusing? Or just like, what the fuck's going on here, dude?
I mean, dude, it's unsettling because like I wouldn't say because I've been in places where weird stuff's happened,
Yeah.
but not obviously that overt like that. But I've been in weird places where weird stuff happens, and I've also been in places that were supposedly haunted and like all this stuff where everyone else is freaking out over the littlest things. I would find it unsettling because I would want to comprehend what is happening right now. Like I would want to know more, but then also I want to see what's causing it. And the fact that I can't see what's causing it, and the only thing I could think of that would be causing something of that nature to happen, for someone to rip the stuff off the walls, grab the lockers, shake them back and forth to where they're literally teetering. It's not like they're wiggling; they're like literally teetering. Oh yeah, it would be very eerie because there would be no explanation. And then it's like, I've watched enough Supernatural, dude. You gotta get out of there, dude. Like, come on, dude. Like, come on.
I do feel like if I was in there potentially as the janitor overnight cleaning crew or just an employee teacher working late grading papers, and lockers started jumping and chairs started sliding and paper started being flung around. Again, I'd probably poop my pants, but
Dude, I'd say be being a huge doogie.
I would be freaked out, dude. Remember there was a fire alarm the other day, and I was so damn fast out of that building. It would be like that sort of panic stricken.
Yeah.
I'd be packing my things up, lickety split, running.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would not play that game.
I'm not gonna lie, just to be on the safe side, if I was in that school and that stuff started happening,
I
would
started blasting.
yeah, I would just burn the whole place down. Solved.
And that's how you get exercised. Possessed.
We're exercising the school,
I
dude.
got there. I got
with
there.
fire. Fire kills everything, dude. You know, like Dracula, you can shoot him all the time, nothing happens. You can chop off his head, nothing happens. You can throw a stake in his heart because we found out that that's just some made up BS folklore. But fire, dude, that kills you, dude. Like fire kills everything.
It gets rid of oxygen, right? So it depletes you of the life
they're
force.
dead though, like vampires, right?
I mean, we've talked about ghosts before,
Dude, it's
right?
because fire is the birth of life, dude. That's why.
We've talked about.
Look at the sun, dude.
We've talked about.
How do you
ghosts.
think we live, dude? The sun.
May I? May I?
Yeah, go ahead.
We've talked about ghosts before and how to get rid of them. We've talked about this.
Salt. Wait.
Nudity. You get naked. Ghosts hate nudity.
Dude, I'm just gonna randomly just in this school and just drop my pants. Woo! like, just wiggle around a little bit, like hey, like what you see? Next thing you know, it does, and it's like, oh no, I'm running, dude.
It shows
and then
itself.
next thing you know, I'm running like a cartoon character. I'm just running in place because it's got his ghost hands on me. And then he's pulling down his ghost pants, and I'm like, no.
Wasn't there a story of a guy who was being molested by ghosts?
Dude, that was a scary movie, dude.
That was a scary movie. Sometimes I get my movie trivia and real life mixed up.
Take my strong hand.
But in all reality, if I see any of these things in my life, I would not be sane after that, more than likely.
I would
also be shouting it from the rooftops. Y'all, look at this shit. I'd be posting it everywhere, telling all my friends, telling everybody I know.
Dude, if we were there together, you know what I would do? I'd look right at you while you're
Push
freaking
me
out.
over.
While you're freaking out, I'd look right at you and be like, now you know what it's like inside my head.
You'd be like,
Every day.
last one out's gay.
That Evan dude likes dudes. While I'm running out.
No, I don't.
The door slams in front of me from the ghost. And I'm like, I don't like dudes. Like, let me out. Especially dude ghosts. Wait, it's not a dude ghost. It's a dudette ghost, dude.
Oh.
Like, oh no. Dude, I swear to God, if someone says "oh no" one more time, that Kool-Aid Man's gonna break down another wall.
Oh no.
Do you imagine right now if Kool-Aid Man did show up when you were like, "Oh no," you know?
Oh yeah.
Dude, you're trying to get out, the ghost locks you in, you're like, "Oh no!" Smash in. Oh yeah, shut up, Kool-Aid Man.
That's my escape, dude. I'd be
I
running.
know,
I'd be
but
running.
I'd still tell him to shut up. Like, come on, man, you're giving him consent. Like, no. Anyways, I only got one more thing, and I was gonna go through it pretty quick.
I don't have anything else.
Cool. I'm gonna knock out this one, so I covered it. So this is the other cryptid.
You know,
deal.
I like my cryptids.
However, this cryptid one is, this is the one I think more of like this is a man-made construct. Not that the story is. I'm saying the entity, because once I describe it, you're gonna go, "What the hell is that?" So, the Flatwoods Monster is what it's called.
Ooh.
So the Flatwoods Monster incident is a famous story from West Virginia involving a terrifying encounter in 1952. So this took place in 1952 in West Virginia. And so it took place on September 12th, 1952. Residents in the small town of Flatwoods witnessed a bright object streaking across the sky and crashing into a nearby hillside. So they saw something crash. You can look it up. A lot of residents saw it. It's in the newspaper. You can pull up newspapers about it. Yeah, I found the newspapers about it. It literally in the local news there. a lot of people in town saw this thing screeching across the sky, crash into the hillside. A group of locals who were closest to it, including kids, like they all went to invade. They thought it was like a small meteorite or something. They didn't realize that it was something more. So they went to investigate, and as they approached the site, that's where they encountered this like weird, creepy ass person thing, like a figure. So the monster itself is described as a towering creature around 10 foot tall, and had glowing red eyes, and had a large spade-shaped hood kind of shaped head, and floated ominously above the ground. They said that the body of it was like a metallic-like body, and emitted a strong acrid, acrid,
Acrid, yeah.
yeah, acrid,
That means like acidic.
yeah, acidic smell that left some of the witnesses who were there when they see this thing, and they got the whiff of that smell as well. It started making everyone nauseous. The encounter, that whole incident, became obviously almost immediately overnight legendary
yeah.
for this podunk town, and national press even picked up the story. And so, like I said, the local newspapers, but the national press picked it up too. It was on. It did make its way into national news. So, and I did see the original national news snippets of those. It made its way into national news, and which of course fueled a bunch of UFO and cryptid interest across like the entire nation, right? But despite all the investigations, the only thing that they could find that and confirm was obviously something crashed in the ground. They found a crash site, but there was no object, there was no being, or monster.
Just a hole in the ground.
Yeah, just basically it looked like an object. Imagine like a UFO crashing, how it leaves the trench and then impact. Yeah, they found it. They did. There's pictures of it in the newspapers and shit.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that was like, there's a couple of items that I tried to remember to grab, so I had up and I forgot to grab those. But it's just a crash site, right? But there's no object in it because they took these pictures in the daytime, because it was the next day, and because it was nighttime when this happened. It was like late at night, and so, it's one of those deals where and that's the only witness encounter. It was a group of people with some kids mixed in, and they see this giant, large monster thing. They call it a monster. Sounds to me more like an extraterrestrial of some
like an alien
form or something. And it had a spade-like hood. But the thing is that when they say a spade-like hood, just to elaborate on that, they could see part of its face and had giant eyes, but the eyes were red. But obviously was wearing something, and that's what made the spade shape,
like a flight suit.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they didn't really describe it other than saying it had like a metallic body. So it's like, that sounds like a drone to me. That sounds not a drone as in like the little,
like a robot.
Yeah, it sounds like a synth.
Yeah,
a synthetic.
It sounds to me like it was wearing a spacesuit or a flight suit to counteract the gravity propulsion that it's dealing with in this machine.
If it's a UFO, though, they don't really. If from what we know about UFOs, it defies the law of physics and all that stuff like that, you don't really experience that while you're inside of it.
I mean, as far as we know.
As far as we know, and according to testaments from like Bob Lazar,
but if it's wearing
a
a metallic suit and it had fleshy face, you're on camera.
I know.
And it has like a fleshy face.
I'm trying to make sure to switch it back and forth so people can see reactions.
Then it's gonna have. It would have to have a flight suit of some sort.
Yeah, I mean, there are. I know that there's been reports and stuff of, different. Like different alien supposedly visitations where they all were wearing some type of suit, of some form. There's obviously something that they are wearing, but it's just like, I don't know. I've never heard of the one with the spade hood before.
Me either.
That's new for me. But the thing is that everyone witnessed. There was a bunch of people witnessed it, and saw the thing up close. It was also dark, but they got a good look at it. It's not like they didn't have lights on them. They were using lights to see. And that's why they're saying that, they got a good look at its body, and it was like a metallic like body.
And I imagine there would be lights from the crash as well. That there would probably be fire coming from the machine that
Yeah.
crashed, or the UFO that crashed.
Oh, one key detail, radiation.
Really?
Yes. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. There was one detail that was in the investigation that was done. One of the local law enforcement actually got a mild dose of radiation poisoning.
Hmm.
And then that's when they tested the area, because he started displaying the signs.
He was
You know,
melting.
whatever. He ended up living and stuff. I mean, I think he's passed away now. He was much older at the time anyways, but, and especially now, it's been way past his expiration date.
Dude, that's
But yeah, so apparently there was like radiation, and they went there and they tested the area after that.
I mean, as we all know, space is full of radiation, and you need a radiation machine, something that's radioactive to propel such a device, right?
Yeah.
Isn't element 115 very radioactive? So
I don't know if it is or not. I don't remember.
that sort of leads me to think that it was definitely extraterrestrial of some sort, not necessarily a gray or ones that we know of, right? But definitely an ET of some kind, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was saving
I
that
would
one.
love to meet an alien. Ghosts, on the other hand, not cool with that. I'm gonna run away.
No, I think you had better odds meeting you'd have a better time meeting a ghost than you would an alien.
Oh.
The only reason I say that is because if any of the things they say about the different types of aliens there are, where some are good, some are bad, like purely subjective, right? Depends on where your viewpoints align. Hey, maybe you're a bad guy too, and or you would be considered bad subjectively. Maybe they're your new buddies. You never know. But the thing is that like everything we hear about aliens is like some are good, some are bad. So it's like they're physical, dude. Like they could do things to you, dude. Ghost, not so much. Well, they're gonna move something. I'm like, do something, dude. What, you gonna throw a paper at me? Fuck off.
What if they're
Like,
what if they're friendly though? I mean,
what if a lot of what ifs going on
what if
here,
they're
dude?
friendly, dude? I mean,
What if you came to your senses? We'll never know. Like,
hey, I'm in my right mind here.
you are in your right mind. Thank you.
My correct mind.
Yes.
Yeah, but I know that you mentioned to me that you wanted to talk about the Miami Mall thing.
Yeah.
Do you want to bring it up now, or
we'll do it as we'll go ahead and do it as a closing kind of
Okay.
remark. So, I don't know so obviously if anyone's heard about Fitz, there was that kid who caught some things on tape, and there for a while they all dismissed it. The whole Miami Mall incident is like, oh, it's fake news and stuff like that. That didn't happen. People are being silly and stupid. Dude, they're giving actual press releases. Hello. Literally, you have press releases from Congress and from the White House literally saying that, hey, have you seen this guy, Fitz, during the Miami Mall incident? And they're saying that, if you see him, don't engage him. Don't look at the things he has, because he has in his possession highly classified footage that he recorded on his phone because of fucking aliens in a goddamn mall, bro.
And if you share it, then you
Like-
are potentially going to be prosecuted as a felon.
Yeah, dude, wild. Dude, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about with the whole U.S. Congress and UFO disclosure and alien disclosure. It's all smoke and mirrors bullshit.
Yeah.
They're not going to release anything to us. I'm at the point where I don't believe they're going to release shit at all. I think it's going to be more just talk in circles. Don't get me wrong. I love Jeremy Corbell and
Graham Hancock.
no, not Graham. I'm talking about the other guy. I
Bob
forgot his
Lazar?
name. No. The other guy who originally worked with Bob Lazar and did his interviews.
I forget his name.
George something, I think.
George Orwell.
George Orwell. Oh my god. But no, it's just like I know that they have been very adamant and they've been on the forefront trying to get the information released and all this stuff. But and I applaud them for all the work they're doing. But I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't think the government's gonna release anything.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think they're gonna actually give us crap.
until aliens physically show themselves to us, they're not going to release any documents. They're not going to say anything. That would cause mass hysteria.
This is
And
my theory.
I honestly don't
Oh,
think
go
it
ahead.
would. It would create mass hysteria, right? That's the idea.
Yeah.
That why they don't want to release it. I don't think that would happen. I mean,
Mm.
if they're like, "Hey, aliens exist," people are like, "Yeah, okay."
No,
know.
I think it's because it's a little bit more in depth than that. Because if my theory's correct,
About the jellyfish one.
no. I was talking about the UFOs, bro. I was talking about Anunnaki.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
If my half-cocked theory, now I don't know how much credible this is. This is just I randomly thought of this narrative. Like, what if it turned out? This is a big what if. What if it turned out that the Anunnaki thing was 100% happened, right? And what we know about them is that there is some type of uprising, right, between us and them. The majority be left, and apparently Nibiru, their planet slash
Spaceship?
Death Star,
Yeah.
is supposed to come back. What if it already came back? And we're in a position where we are cut off from that knowledge, right? Because they came back, but they came in with a better plan. You know, to use us to help them do all these things, blah blah blah. And what if they already came back and Nibiru is actually the moon?
Mm.
And that would explain why it rings like a bell. You know, it's not just a
Solid.
rock. It's that there's something inside of it. You know, like it's, I'm just saying it was a half-cocked theory that went through my head. I was like, that would and then that would explain why they don't want to disclose anything, because then you find out that the Anunnaki, because they ruled. What if that's that's the NATO and the nations, these political families that stay in the bloodline? What if there's not even really a bloodline there that's human? What if it's Anunnaki in suits, dude?
Yeah, I mean, I don't find that.
Alien human hybrid program.
That's
I know it's a big what if. I'm not saying there's any credibility to it.
It's not very.
I just threw it out
far-fetched.
there. I just threw it out there.
It's an interesting thought for sure. I mean, they always talk about Nibiru coming back, and they talked about it how it's coming back shortly, like in the next 1,000 years or 500 years or whatever I think it was.
Dude, I can't wait until it's gonna be here in one day.
And DJ Osiris, bow, bow, bow. DJ Osiris.
Dude, you want some space ecstasy? Because we got a lot of it. We ran out of humans like 1,000 years ago. They all died from the space ecstasy.
Hey, yo, cut off all your hair. We need to make some more gold.
Oh, yeah, gold's in the hair, guys. Come on. It actually is.
Yeah. We produce gold out of our hair follicles.
Yeah, so it just, I don't know. If all this ends up being true, I'm not talking about the Anunnaki. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the whole, they do have information, like legitimate 100%. And I think they do. There must be something that's a big game changer other than like, hey, you're flying spaghetti monster you worship in the sky. Most of that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't think that's really the deterrent. There's got to be something more impactful that we haven't thought about. That is a real game
On that
changer,
aspect, do you think religious individuals would start to worship them as
No.
God?
No, they wouldn't, because they would chalk it up. I've already listened to people of different faiths like give their take on stuff, and
What if
overall they all almost say the same thing. It's
what
like
if the Anunnaki come back and like, yes,
they call them demons.
and we're like, yes, we created you.
Yeah, no, they'll be like, false prophet labels on them and say that they're basically Satan's army and stuff. I've heard the whole thing. There's even books out there about
know.
aliens written by different Christian people of different sects, like Christian sects in their dogma, basically saying that, the whole book is about how aliens are actually demons and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what? They want it to fit. It's because they don't want their what they have believed their entire life.
Of course, they don't want to be broken, right?
They don't want that to be broken, so they're gonna come up with some narrative that would then intertwine that into where their stuff is still accurate and correct.
What if they come in here with a 60-minute style documentary and they're like, here's proof of we came to Earth 100,000 years ago. And they showed like a 60-minute style documentary.
Satan. That's all it would be, dude.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think all of them would be that way, but I think it's interesting because I'm not saying that every Christian or anyone of any faith in particular would have that. viewpoint 100%. But I've heard some people I know, like personally, that were like, well, God created everything, so why wouldn't there be other life? Blah, blah, blah. Like, and they chalk it up to that. And that's totally fine, too. It's like, man, you went a logical route based around your faith. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good for you. Yeah, cool. I don't think so.
Mhm.
I don't believe in spaghetti monsters. No. So it's just like, if there is something, well, there's just another being. And the idea that we are
I'm
the
just so
only
ready.
intelligent life in the universe,
There's no way.
like
There's no way.
the ever-expanding egg-shaped universe.
There's
You
no
know,
way.
There's no way. I don't buy it.
I, for
2
one, am
seconds.
super excited for our alien overlords or our AI overlords to
Oh, dude.
just take over
You
already.
know, someone
Just get
did.
it over with. Rip that Band-Aid off.
Me and you have talked about it before, and this is my last closing statement, and then I'm done. But basically, we've talked about before, like, what if what we see with UFOs is really just sentient
AGI, right?
yeah. It's like some type of advanced artificial intelligence, and that's like the remnants of a previous civilization that us humans used to have at one point in
Ancient
time.
technology, right? Ancient
Yeah.
artifact technology.
And if it's on a program, you know, if it's programmed to do whatever, and it has this advanced artificial intelligence, then it would maintain what is left of its systems.
Mm-hmm.
It would do its thing, and then there may be protocols in there where it's like, hey, don't engage on, blah blah blah. Like, these people have to,
They have to find you.
you have to either find you or grow or whatever. You never know. That's like something from a movie. Someone had a good heart and place. No, if it was me, my AI stuff I left behind from a total cosmos, it would be like, you're all fucked. They're coming in there. You're done, dude. They're coming in there to finish the job. Anyways, that was a joke.
See, my AI creation would be wanting to help them and make them go faster and grow more. But that's a topic for a whole nother day. I hope that the UFOs we're seeing and we're hearing stories of are simply just super artificial intelligence that is super advanced, knows all, and doesn't want to bother us as we grow. I think that would be the most happy situation.
I don't really know what to think. I
But-
just want them to show up already.
Independence Day says differently. Anyway,
Yeah, dude. Welcome to Earth.
shall we end it?
Yeah, if only he did really punched an alien instead he decided to slap Chris Rock.
Chris Lock, baby.
Chris Rock.
That's the
Rock.
dreadlock white version.
Man, that guy, what a pretender punching aliens and stuff.
Leave my wife's name out your mouth.
I can see it right now. They remake Independence Day. They got the Will Smith thing. He's about to punch the alien, and then he's just like opens it up and he sees it. And instead of like punching him and going "Welcome to Earth," he's all like, "Keep my wife's name out of your motherfucking mouth." Bah, bah. Only he's not punching this time. He's slapping. And he's wearing his tuxedo again.
Oh.
Out of nowhere, it's a reversible. His flight suit. Tuxedo time. Slapping the hand. Well, someone's gonna get.
I mean,
slapped.
you've seen James Bond. He's always in a tuxedo, so that's the best fighting uniform.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That just clicked with me.
Super maneuverable.
It's not uncomfortable at all. I've worn a tux. They're not restrictive at all.
Limber even.
Psych, they're super restrictive. I want to know who his tailor is.
It's all just yoga material. It's
all like loosey-goosey spandex, baby.
yes.
Hell yeah, dude. I want a spandex suit.
Just skin tight.
No. I want it to be a little bit too big,
Just
though.
workout material clothing.
Yeah, dude. That'd be a nice suit.
Dry fit Nike style.
Oh, dude, I could go like run a marathon in my suit and then like go to work and then be
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, what'd you do this morning? You look so good today. What's the occasion?" "Oh, I did a marathon this morning before I came to work, guys." And they're like, "Whoa, you look incredible. You're not even sweaty. There's no dried perspiration lines. There's nothing. No salt residue from dried sweat. Like, you look great. Immaculate.
Whoa.
Wow, your hair even maintained that whole time?" "Yes, I put a lot of gel and a lot of hairspray, at least 2 cans."
What can I say? This cool, dry Nike suit does great.
It's cool, dry, sweat free. You forgot the sweat free. That's imperative.
Anyway, if y'all have made it this far, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all that jazz. We will definitely catch you on the next time. Thank you for listening. Y'all have a wonderful week. We'll see you on Friday.
Yep. Oh, and then just remember one little tidbit. The Flatwoods Monster. Some of the people witness it are still alive.
Ooh.
Boom. I don't know their names. Find it out. Go get them.
Go get them.
Go get them, Tiger. Yeah.
Later,
Anyways,
everybody.
Yeah, later, everyone. You guys have a nice night.
Fingers on the trigger, they pull without a sound. Behind the glass towers, we're buried underground. Secrets in the shadows, locked inside the mind. MK Ultra memories don't keep us blind. Static on the screen, voices we don't see. Dumpers got us wired, but we're breaking free. They're watching, they're